Hello and welcomes back everyone, AnthWolf here with even more Star Wars The Old Republic, playing as my Jedi Knight Valeris Roh. Where we last left off, we were on board the Republic flagship, the Valiant there, going against a former Jedi, Warren Sadoru, trying to prevent him from revealing the Republic's plans that were in possession of one of the fleet admirals, and he revealed that the Emperor's next plan is on Corellia, using a former Jedi Master Tol Braga in his efforts to kill billions in some way, shape or form. Before we go to Corellia, we're going to speak to our companions once again and see what else we can learn about them, see what they're feeling about our efforts here so far. We just got a bit of mail. Ah, Ambassador Janik. Careful. The political situation in Voskar is like a red-hot sand-wasp hollow. Senior Vosk commandos are being called back for consultations about the Gormak. Every mystic not in seclusion is being asked for advice. You took thousands of years of Vosk culture and give it a good shake. I can't imagine what it's going to look like once things settle down. Yeah, that's true. We revealed that the Voss and the Gormak were once one race. We didn't mention that it was thanks to the Jedi that they actually got split. But we never learned that information. We would have been replaying as a member of the Empire. So, first things first, sell all our vendor food. Should have maybe done this between videos, but oh well. And let's talk to T7.
What have you got for me? Only a few dozen senators have access to those accounts. One of them must be an Imperial spy. Until we find out who hired the bounty hunter and why, we can't be sure of anything. I never pictured you as a politician.
Speechwriter.
How did that work out?
Okay, so T7's still looking into who betrayed Vensalo and his, I always want to say accomplice, Shafu. Let's see if T7 has discovered anything still.
You have something for me? If the senator is being set up, I don't want to ruin her reputation. This needs to be handled discreetly.
I see. That's a good idea, actually. Alert the Strategic Information Service. Hey, we now command rank 4.
You wanted to talk to me, T7?
Oh.
None of this would have been possible without all the work you did to uncover the truth. I appreciate the compliments, but I'm not perfect. Believing I am is the first step towards the dark side. You've got a long and interesting history, T7. Do you really think you'll be satisfied staying with me from now on? It's good to know my legacy will live on after I'm gone.
Okay. So we discovered the actual traitor was a senator's husband. Okay, let's speak to Kira.
So, when do I get my own Padawan? Always wanted to be a teacher.
When Master Satele thinks you're ready for the responsibility, she'll tell you.
Bet a good word from you would speed that along. Here, pretend you're my Padawan. Got a hypothetical moral dilemma for you. Say you could only save the Republic or the Jedi Order. Which would you choose and why? Don't think, answer.
That's too big a question not to put a little thought into.
Bzz, too late. The Jedi Order and the Republic are both dead. Happy? Correct answer was Jedi Order, by the way. Without us around to protect it, the Republic can't survive.
Without a Republic to defend, would we still be Jedi? Or would we become something else?
Interesting point, Padawan. I'll answer your question later. This teaching thing's fun. Have to do it again sometime.
So I noticed she didn't have an answer to our question. Okay. Do you have another question for us?
Keep wondering what it'll take to put the Sith Empire down for good. Kill the Emperor, destroy Korriban.
Genocide is a poor method of securing peace.
Beginning to agree with you there. No victory over the Sith ever lasts. We wipe them out, they turn up again. Doesn't feel like we're winning.
The cycle of war has to end. Maybe you'll discover how to break it.
Solve a millennia-old problem by myself? No pressure there. Guess there is one thing we can count on. No matter how many times they come back, the Sith always go down in flames.
All it takes is one time, unfortunately. Let's speak to Doc. I think he's finally stopped his flirtation, so he's not as irritating anymore.
I need the Jedi Council's hollow frequency. Old Doc's gonna have a chat with your bosses. This code you people follow has you wrapped up tighter than the Emperor's shorts. It's not healthy. In my professional experience, enjoying life on a regular basis dramatically reduces your chances of falling to the dark side.
How exactly would indulging myself lead me away from the dark side?
That's like swallowing tiny doses of poison for an extended period. Eventually, you develop a tolerance. I'm glad I'm around to keep things lively. The ship would be way too serious without me.
You know, he's not too wrong. He just goes about it in a rather floppish fashion. Let's speak to you again.
Life of a combat medic. Long hours, grueling work. Patients bleeding all over your nice clothes. I'm not complaining. Nothing beats the look of gratitude from someone whose life you just saved. But my female patients are always developing feelings for me. Some just won't take no for an answer.
I see your difficulty. They find you revolting, ask you to fly into the nearest sun, and yet you refuse.
That was one time. She had a head injury. The rest love me. I figured Jedi have the same problem. You must have admirers lined up from one end of the galaxy to the other.
Jedi have no interest in gaining admirers, or being admired.
You don't know what you're missing. Just imagine how popular we'll be after we knock the Sith Empire into a black hole. If I were you, I'd get some extra sleep now.
Okay, that's my daily dose of Doc filled up. Let's speak to Sergeant Rusk now. How does he feel about our mission so far?
Master Jedi, I'm aware that my recent military record might raise some concerns. I want to reassure you that my squad fatality rates have not consistently been this high.
I suppose that's good to hear.
The first squad I commanded after making Sergeant was sent to free POWs being held at a small Imperial outpost. Intel said the place would be lightly manned. Most of the Imperials wouldn't arrive for another 24 hours. Intel was wrong.
The outpost wasn't lightly manned, or the POWs weren't being held there?
The Imperials sent their reinforcements a day early. When my squad broke into the outpost, we were outnumbered 10-1. We were outmanned and outgunned, but we achieved our objective. Freed all the POWs, and came out alive. My squad's casualty rate was 97.4%, but we had no fatalities.
It's impressive that anyone made it out of there with those odds.
They were good soldiers, far better than any of the others I've had under my command. Our mission was accomplished without permanent loss of Republic resources. That squad was effectively trained, and as a result, we achieved victory much more efficiently.
Then the death tolls are simply a matter of poor resource use?
Good soldiers are a resource. Yes, their loss damages the war effort, but they are meant to be used. Victory for the Republic is worth any cost. Master Jedi, our downtime has had a positive impact on my battle readiness. I believe I'm 14.2% more prepared for combat now.
What? What does that even mean?
It's a statistical analysis of, well, I won't bore you with the details. I've had a lot of time to think. I've forgotten what that was like.
Relax while you can, Sergeant. There's more fighting ahead.
I'm looking forward to it. I've been thinking about my original squad. I haven't seen any of them since we liberated that POW camp. They seem to be on active duty, but I can't find any mention of commendations or recognition. They should be decorated soldiers.
I'm sure you'll find something.
Carson, Nadja, Eckert, that whole squad has simply vanished.
One might almost believe that you considered those soldiers people.
They'd be most valuable to the Republic deployed on the front. This just doesn't make sense to me.
Interesting. Let's see if we can continue this line of thought.
Finally tracked down my old squad mates, Master Jedi. Wishing I hadn't. General Garza recruited them into the Special Forces Black Ops program. But now, they're in a detention facility on Beirun, convicted of war crimes.
Black Ops are supposed to be secret. Who gave you this information?
It started as a nasty rumor from Imperial propaganda, but the detention center's warden confirmed everything. They renamed my old squad the Surgeons, tasked them with destabilizing the Empire's command structure by removing its best leaders. But the Surgeons didn't just target Imperial commanders. They went after the officers' families. They wanted to send the enemy a message.
I wouldn't put it past the Empire to frame your old squad.
I wondered the same thing, but the fact is, they all confessed. They're proud of what they did. The detention center's warden says my old squad mates are serving life sentences. They're young. That's a lot of years to spend in cages. The next time I get nostalgic and curious, Master Jedi, give me a planet to invade.
Fair enough. We'll share some more time with you later. Let's speak to Lord Scourge. See what he thinks of this entire situation.
Your people speaking of the Empire sound like a distorted echo. When I was born, we thought the rest of the galaxy to be mystery and legend. We had been alone for 1,000 years.
What was it like? I can't even imagine.
We were what you made us. In my youth, Jedi were how you threatened errant children. Obey your masters or the Jedi will obliterate you. For thousands of years, we had total control of 100 star systems. Then the Jedi drove us to the farthest fringe of the galaxy.
That was generations ago. Do people really still care?
Did your people still care to fear us when we re-emerged? This is hardly worth debating. I gain nothing from understanding how your Republic's fools view the galaxy. I am surprised that once your council finishes its brainwashing, any Jedi has a spine left to oppose the Emperor. Perhaps you are young enough to still cultivate the strength of the Sith.
Revan, the Exile, and I were all Jedi trained. We all resisted the Emperor. What Sith have done so?
That was a surprise. In 3 centuries, I expected to see one test his strength against the Dark Lord. But those strong enough to challenge him are killed young, or co-opted into the Dark Council. Perhaps you are right. Jedi strengths are different, not necessarily lesser.
What's this? He's having a... He's agreeing with our viewpoint? I think we should really stop this conversation here before it descends again. But we'll keep it going.
I do not know how more to prepare you to face the Emperor. What has your training been? All I know of Jedi ways is from Revan. Surely they have changed in 300 years.
How does someone become the Emperor's wrath?
There has only ever been one. My training as a Sith was not far different than Korriban today. Only my visions set me apart, made them bring me before the Emperor. In his presence, I first saw who he was and what he planned.
You still chose to serve him?
I chose to live, long enough to find one who could defeat him. I thought Revan and the Jedi exile were my chance.
Revan and the Jedi Exile are legends. What were they like?
It should not have surprised anyone that Revan turned Sith. He knew you cannot fight the dark side without understanding it. The exile was harder to read. Even with all she had done, she never trusted herself. With Revan, she was his student again. I liked them. I would have served them, but my vision told me they would fail. I cut down the exile and brought Revan to the Emperor as a gift.
You killed the exile? Really? Well, that's something I didn't know. Huh.
Is that what you're planning to do to me?
If you are not the one who will stop the Emperor's madness, then I will await the one who will. The only way to live long enough to find the Jedi who would kill the Emperor, to find you, was to convince him to trust me. He took my offering and gave me a place at his side. He gave me immortality. It was a gift, but not without its price. It has been enlightening to spend so much time among you and your Jedi. For 300 years I have spoken to no one but Sith, and they do not change. They are the same on Korriban now as in my childhood. The same tricks, the same fights, the same groveling and mind control.
Was that almost a compliment?
I am only surprised that I have learned the most of the Force from a Jedi. Revan taught me to be effective when I became the Emperor's wrath. And now I have learned as much from you.
You have opened my eyes as well.
And here I thought you weren't listening.
Okay. We'll end our conversations there. Talk to Doc and Lord Scourge some more if we wish, and we have Sergeant Rusk as well. But we'll break this video here, and when we come back we'll be on our way to the world of Corellia, which, as I mentioned in the last video, has seceded from the Republic, and is currently being held in Imperial control, even though the world itself is contested by almost every faction imaginable. But as always, this has been AnthWolf playing Star Wars The Old Republic. I hope you've all enjoyed, and I hope you all take care, and I'll see you for even more next time. Until then, no. Bye-bye now.